Why me? Karaka muntu kare kusanje bati yo Mwewa you don't own social media. Ichi charo te chove. Charo chandi.
What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to J Cool.
There is a TikTok nuisance by the name of Why Me. Why the hell he calls himself Why Me is beyond me. This TikTok nuisance by the name of Why Me. Let me give you some background, a bit of backstory of Why Me. He's a young guy. This guy, the very first time I took real notice of him was when he began to speak disparagingly about Tongas. That's when my interest sort of peaked, and I was thinking, well, why is he doing this? Is this a joke? Is he trying to be funny? Is he being serious? And then the more I listened to him, the more I realized that this was insolence. Insolence. Imisalula. Muchibemba. Imisalula. Muchisungu. Insolence. A deliberate effort to not only be offensive, be tribally inflammatory. His content was purely designed to create tribal angst. You know, are you familiar with that word? Angst, discomfort, you know. And I remember because, you know, as being a social media commentator, you watch other creators and you cross-pollinate, you make comments, you sort of give your 2 cents worth. And I remember one comment, I sort of said it on his page. I said, you know, if you continue down this trajectory, very soon you're going to be arrested. And he didn't like that very much. So he started cussing me out, you know. A short time after that, he was arrested. And guys, this has nothing to do with prophecy, because, you know, in Zambia, when you have an inclination about something, a premonition about something, when you have common sense about something, and then you voice it, and then it happens, the Zambian internet audience is so dwanzi, so spiritually dense, that they'll simply relegate it to prophecy. They'll say, oh, you are a prophet, you said it. It's got nothing to do with prophecy, mate. It's all common sense. If you go down this way, you're going to end up there. That's basically what it is. So anyway, he got arrested, and honestly, I didn't mean to gloat. Are you familiar with that word, to gloat? Do you know what it means to gloat? To gloat means to go to someone and say, well, I'm on an adequate because of if that's gloating. I didn't mean to gloat, but I went to Kabwata police station to go and see him and say to him again that, did I not tell you that if you continue down this trajectory, if you continue down this road of sowing seeds of tribal discontent, it's going to cost you your freedom, you know, because we're living in a world now where, you know, tribal talk is not tolerated. And this is one of the reasons why HH, after having gone to Rwanda, while in Rwanda there, I would imagine after taking that tour of that 100-day nightmare that Rwanda experienced, where brother was killing brother and neighbor was hacking and slaughtering neighbor purely based on tribal lines, HH came back with a message of a resolute message that strongly speaks against tribalism. Zero tolerance. Zero tolerance, guys. And that's the approach we must have as a people. Zero tolerance when it comes to tribal talk. It should not be sugar-coated. It should not be glossed over. It should not be treated as, oh, it's freedom of speech. No, no, no. If you look at Rwanda, Rwanda is a stark example of what could happen if you think tribal remarks are a joke. That nightmare erupted because of a radio address. And this was before the internet. Now imagine the internet now, the power, the vast expanse of power that this medium has. And you look back at Rwandan genocide and you think, God forbid. There go us, but for the grace of God. Whenever we see Rwanda, Zambians, listen to me. The very first thing that should cross your mind is, there, but for the grace of God, go us. Because the thing that has happened to Rwanda, if we treat this tribal talk lightly, it can easily happen to us. We are no different from them. The only difference is they're in a different region. But we're basically the same people, susceptible to the same vices. So let's not act all holy and start talking about, oh, no, we're Zambians, we love each other. Oh yeah, we do. I remember I spoke to a couple of Rwandese, and I asked him, I said, why did you guys do that? And he said to me, he said, brother, it was the strangest thing. It was like all of a sudden the devil himself crawled up out of the grounds and entered the hearts of Rwandese. He says, looking back, we just don't understand how that happened. But it was speech. So anyway, I went to see Waimi to tell him, kuti waona iwe, na lekwe bati, ififkansa wakwata. One of these days your freedom is going to be at stake. Do you know what he said to me? I know I've shared this before, but it bears repeating. Why me? You don't own social media. Ichi chalo te chove. Chalo chandi. Chalo chandi yote tuise kuno. You can't come here telling me that I can't say what I want to say. I said, listen, that's up to you. But it's going to cost you. It'll cost you your freedom. Because there is no way this nation, after having Rwanda as a backdrop and as a cautionary tale, there's no way this country is going to tolerate that nonsense. I'm telling you, no way. We are not going to be a cautionary tale again. You have to avoid it. And these are the steps that this administration is taking to avoid that. So whenever you think about why me, don't start saying, no, ngakarikuisa. Why me is exactly where he needs to be. Do you understand that? Am I clear about that? Am I crystal about that? He is where he is because he placed himself there. And he's exactly where he needs to be. Let the chips fall where they may. And that's just about the size of it. Anyway. Right. The last thing I want to talk to you about is Mumbi Phiri. Oh, talk about a missed call. My goodness. Do you know Mumbi Phiri, after having spent, 380 days or something like that? Please tell me in the comments, because, somebody always does correct me. Please tell me in the comments, how many days did Mumbi Phiri spend in prison, in jail? Tell me. So that we know what we're talking about. Even me, I don't support that chap. He must be jailed. Truly. How long was she? Why me is in heaven? Is he really? Has he gone? Has he departed? I doubt it. Exactly. He made his bed. Let him lay in it. Okay? Who's that? True. Tracy Mwenga says true. Right. Why me is nonsense. Yes, he is. I need you to tell me now, how many days did Mumbi Phiri spend in prison in Mongo? I think she was in Mongo. Remember, I visited Mongo. Tell me. Yeah, 429 days. That's what it was. 420. Now, you know what prison does to you? I've been to jail. I spent 6 grueling days at Mwembeshi prison. Now, when I say grueling, I mean, it wasn't a bad experience. I mean, I was just confined. But in those 6 days, once you're confined, it really gives you a moment to sort of think. Because oftentimes you sit there alone in the dark with nothing but your thoughts. Time can draw out like a blade, boy. And in those moments, you reflect. You know, you think there's a lot of regret. I should have done this. Maybe I did that wrong and all that. Now, once you go through that process, now I only spent 6 days and I came to that realization. But Mumbi Phiri spent 429 days, more than adequate time to reflect and think and to carry out some type of introspection. 429 days. I would have thought Mumbi Phiri would come out of prison saying, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm in the last portion of my life. I've lived my life. I've done my political stint. Not stunt, stint. I've done my political stint. I've served this country to the very best of my ability. Yes, along the way I've made mistakes like everybody does, but I want to live this last portion of my life peaceably. Oh no, honey. The moment Mumbi Phiri breaks out of prison, she starts talking about, just withdraw it. We're going to support you. And there she is following Walungu at the courthouse. And then she throws herself in a situation where now she's being accused because of political involvement. She's now been accused of stealing, robbing 20,000 kwacha because she felt that some guy was conducting some sort of electoral malpractice. So she took it upon herself to be in charge of blowing the whistle. And in the fray, in the process of doing that, she's now been accused of robbing someone and stealing 20,000 kwacha. Totally unavoidable. Why didn't Mumbi Phiri just stay at home? Now, I know some of you may sit there and say, no, but Mwewa, that is her desire. Maybe that is what is burning in her heart. She just wants to be she wants to be permanently a politician. So you can't stop her. Yeah, but being a woman, being a wife, being a mother, after having spent 429 days, I would have thought she would say, you know what, I'm done with it. Oh no, not her. She throws herself into the fray. Now, here's the thing. Now she's back in the court system. And guys, let me tell you, when you are in the court system, there is nothing more stressful than going to court and being in the court system. Once you are swept away in that avalanche, in that tsunami of legal debris, oh my God, it's the worst. It is the absolute worst. And here it is, she escaped it. Well, let's be honest. Let's be clear. I was shocked. I was shocked that she escaped the noose the first time. I was shocked. Just all of a sudden we woke up and we heard, oh no, she's out of prison. Now, that was a lifeline that anybody would cling to. Not Mumbi Phiri. Mumbi Phiri woke up and said, I know I've spent 429 days in prison, but let's go to the next controversy. Let's see how much more trouble we can throw ourselves in. But Mumbi Phiri doesn't know what it means when the English saying that says, once bitten, twice shy. In Zambia we say once beaten, twice shy. No, it's not once beaten, it's once bitten. Once bitten, twice shy. Mumbi Phiri has no realization of that. Well, she's going to have to learn the hard way. Sorry to say.
Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, J Cool, and turn on the notification bell, cause I'm gonna see you in the next video.